welcome.
Yes.
We would like to again welcome you to the 2018 Camp Classic. It is now time to meet today's starting defense for the U15 Stripes. Number 80, Nicholas Eaton. Number 87, Cameron Miller. Number 86, Silas Turley. Number 97, Trey Bixby. Number 29, Brian Spearman. Number 18, Carter White. Number 28, Brandon Sperling. Number 34, Devin Malloy. Number 12, Cameron Gary. Number 33, number 44, Jahad Wilson. The teams are led by head coach David Dunham of Wabash College, Indiana. Please welcome Coach Dunham and the rest of the U15 Stripes. And now let's meet the starting offense for the U15 Stars. Number 8, QB Peter Zamora. Number 3, Raymond Brown. Number 5, Cage Netzel. Number 11, Keegan Tupu. Number 13, Brooks Ortega. Number 81, Nolan Dirks. Number 73, Matthew Mayer. Number 54, Joey Pallotta. Number 50, Zachary Kemp. Number 59, Kadar Irving. And number 74, Colin Malone. The U15 Stars are led by head coach Adam Nugavala of Georgetown, D.C. Please welcome Coach Nugavala and the rest of the U15 Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Bearing the flag for the U15 Stars is number 7, Connor Gary from Auburn, PA. For the U15 Stripes is number 64, Samuel Turley of Lexington, Kentucky. Please direct your attention to midfield for today's coin toss. The captains representing the U15 Stars are number 10, Weston Pemberton.
Canton, Ohio, the birthplace of professional football. The place where legends become immortal and where current greats want to be. But today, all those heroes take a backseat for the future of America's game. It's the inaugural USA Football Middle School Bowl Game Series, and Game 3 is here between the Stars and the Stripes. 15U football action starts right now. Beautiful Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. It's the birthplace of professional football, but today it is all about the future. It's the Middle School Bowl Game Series presented by U.S. Football and the U.S. National Team, but also powered by Game On Sports. Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle Yeomans alongside Nick Laupia, soon to be joined by Al as well. And this is an outstanding matchup because not only is it the eldest of the middle school players, but it's also a preview of high school stars for the next couple of years. In the first couple games, we saw some really high individual play from a different couple of players. Really, the skill players shined in games 1 and 2 of the day. But now in game 3, what do you expect in terms of some of the units? You expect the defense to step up or even the special teams to do so?
Well, Kyle, you're exactly right. Back on the other game, we saw a lot of great speed on the offensive side, the wide receivers, the running backs. But I tell you what, in this game, the kids going into high school, I think the biggest difference we're going to see is in the trenches. I think we're going to see the offensive and defensive lines kind of improve the most out of the 3 games that we're going to see today. I think that's going to be the biggest thing, and that in turn is going to have an effect, obviously, on the rest of the team and on the defensive side. If the defensive line can get a little more penetration, well, that's going to help the cornerbacks and the defensive backs. If the offensive line, if they can kind of get that first push and be a little more protective, that's going to help out on the other side for the quarterback, running back, and wide receivers.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those skills players have definitely had an impact in games 1 and 2, and we are just about set for game number 3. Like I said just a moment ago, the U15 teams are the oldest middle school players in the entire bowl game series. So this should be the top play, at least in terms of individual talent that we've seen all day. And that's saying something because, my goodness, Nick, we saw some high-octane tempo early in those first couple games. Do want to quickly mention the captains for each team. Of course, the Stripes are in the blue, and the Stars are wearing the dark charcoal gray. The Stars captains, linebacker Weston Pemberton. And then you've got Jaleel Singleton as well, Matthew Mayer, Peter Zamora, Connor Gehring. And then for the Stripes, the 4 captains are Blue Monroe, Cameron Garrity, Samuel Turley, and Nicholas Eaton. As we are underway, and automatically the Stripes looking to go for it all and make something happen in terms of the really just the home run ball. Actually, it was the Stars on offense to start things off here. And as we do welcome Al Pops back into the fold. Al, our 3rd member of our team, and also one of the middle school directors for USA Football. Glad to have you up here, Al, and definitely excited for this 15U battle.
Yeah, thanks for having me up here, guys. All these kids born in 2003, so these are our oldest guys. As you've mentioned, a lot of future studs here on the field today.
Now you've got a handoff quickly near side. That's Raymond Brown out of Chester, Virginia. He has taken the handoff and already 3rd down quickly upon the Stars here.
Brown will be one to watch all day long. He won the gold ball as our MVP in our middle school showcase in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. D.C., of course, a hotbed for football talent as well, but this time he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Almost back to the original starting point, as I believe it was number 34, Devin Malloy, maybe on the tackle. I couldn't necessarily see who was on that far side, but nonetheless, it was a great play from the Stripes to be able to drag him to the turf.
Well, this is going to be the toughest of the 3 games because of the similarities in the 2 jerseys for these teams.
Oh, yeah.
Charcoal versus the navy. So it'll be interesting. We'll try our best on this for this game. And
I'm glad you said it, Nick, and not me. If it were me saying it, it would just be an excuse. If it's you saying it, then it's for real. But the first drive of the game ends up in a punt for the Stars. Stripes, on the other hand, now get it with great field position at the 46-yard line, now driving the other way. Starting at quarterback for the Stripes, Dominic Seaton out there as well. Actually, I believe it's Blue Monroe in the quarterback slot. Read option, does hand it off to the tailback to get things underway offensively. It's big number 10, Jacob Gibbons out of Rumford, Rhode Island.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of talented players already. Blue Monroe, the quarterback, won the Gold Ball MVP at our Charlotte Middle School Showcase that happened at the Panthers practice facility.
Oh, wow.
And then Jacob Gibbons at running back. He helped Team USA beat Mexico last year convincingly with a couple touchdowns.
That's awesome. There are so many different individuals that are going to stand out. And how about this one in the backfield immediately and taken down? Zachary Kipp out of North Liberty, Indiana. Holy cow, he was there to flash, Nick.
Yeah, just went in untouched and just right through the middle. Some great penetration early on from both defensive lines. We saw in the 3 and out in the first possession of the game, and now right here, Stars able to early on get some pressure in that backfield.
Had a 4-yard gain initially, and the sack there makes it a 3rd down and 13. Here's Monroe. Throwing it deep, bouncing up, and it's picked off. Interception made, flag flies. This may be a first down as Zaire Riley came away with the interception out of Arizona. It's a long way to come here to Ohio. But I believe it is going to be pass interference. That is exactly what it is. So it'll be a first down for the Stripes. They catch a magnificent break to be able to get this ball back. So they'll step it out and ends up being a first down.
That would have been an announcer's dream, as Zaire Riley is also a gold ball winner from our from our camp season this year. So things are holding true.
Wow. Gold ball, gold ball, gold ball. Did you hand them out all gold balls to everybody on both of these?
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Back to Monroe here at quarterback. Blue Monroe, also a great name. Hands it off. Look at the move, far side. First down and more. He's got some more room to work in. He lays a hit before he gets pushed out of bounds. Oh, man, Gibbons. Jacob Gibbons, he's 5'3", but he does not play like it. He runs downhill, and you can see why. Shifting from right to left, losing a potential tackler, and then any other tackler that tried to take him on in a gray jersey will watch out. It's not going to go well for you, and he showed exactly why just then.
Again, he rumbled for 2 touchdowns this past January against Team Mexico, showing that he hasn't lost a step yet.
Yeah, he has definitely not lost a step by any means. He is impressive. That one going for about 25 yards. Monroe not going down just yet. He finally is wrapped up in the backfield. As Blue Monroe is wrapped up. Already 29 yards of rushing on 2 attempts for Jacob Gibbons. Out of Rhode Island, 37 states represented throughout the U.S. football bowl game series. That 37 mark will go up in a couple weeks whenever USA football packs up and goes to Texas. Frisco, Texas will host the next bowl game series for the middle school ranks, as this one goes just wide. 3rd down and 11 on the way.
Yeah, you weren't kidding about that number going up. We have kids coming from Hawaii and Alaska to Texas, so there's no doubt we should hit all 50.
That's a long way to go. Game On Sports, of course, out of the DFW area, as we will be covering that game as well. And I'll tell you right now, Alaska and Hawaii, that's a long way. I thought us coming to Ohio was a long way to go, but there are some Arizonas on here. There are some Californias. They definitely put us down on the list for sure. How about Monroe trying to make something happen with his feet, almost trying to stay upright, almost able to break free. He does get about a 6-yard gain on the QB scamper. And 4th and 4 on the way. This is right in that interesting territory where you could punt or you could end up trying to make a longer field goal here at the middle school ranks. It looks like they are going to go for it on a 4th and 5 is the official total. Gain 6 yards on 3rd and 11. Now Monroe back in the shotgun. 3-step drop, quickly releases, and it's off the hands, incomplete. He was intending to connect with tight end Brock Donnelly out of Little Falls, New Jersey, but instead it's a turnover on downs, and the Stars will get it back. Long drive, 7 plays, 3 incomplete passes, and 2 sacks, but even with that, the long runs from Gibbons and then Monroe keeping the drive alive kept that going as long as it definitely did.
Allow me to throw out the cliche, but that was bend but don't break defense right there.
Yeah, definitely so. 6:13 left here in the first quarter of action. 10-minute quarters here for the USA Football Bowl Game series at the middle school ranks. False start definitely.
False start on the offense.
As somebody was moving up on that front line. Back it up 5 yards, and they'll start it on the 9-yard line now. Quarterback back in the shotgun. Takes the high snap, hands it off right across his chest. Trying with that sweep. And once again, they are not shying away from giving the ball to Raymond Brown. Brown, however, is wrapped up just after gaining about 1.5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and long after the penalty and this short yardage gain.
Interesting note, the quarterback right now, Peter Zamora, was at the same Charlotte camp as Blue Monroe. So both starting quarterbacks for these teams went to the same regional camp.
A lot of talent out of that North Carolina rank. Zamora on the move, almost got that one intercepted. Very close call for the Stars as they almost handed it over. Jihad Wilson out of Indianapolis, Indiana. When you talk about the talent that's come out of North Carolina, how about the talent from Indiana? We had a couple scores from Indianapolis natives, and then also a big sack from an Indianapolis native, and I believe one of our MVPs was an Indianapolis native. I could be wrong. Actually, I think I am wrong on that. But nonetheless, a lot of good talent out of Indianapolis as well. Long throw. Zamora looking for it all, overthrows everybody. There were a lot of Navy jerseys in the vicinity there. I don't know who he was trying to go for because there were also 3 gray jerseys right around that same area, but it is going to be 4th down.
Looked a little bit slow to get up. Obviously, a lot of pressure coming in from that defensive line. And
there's a coach all the way out on the hash marks. I don't know if he was talking to a player or if he was talking to one of his coach or one of the officials. I think he was talking to a player. But Zamora will walk off after the 4th down attempt, and it'll be a punt. Long punt ends up right around the 45-yard line, so just about the same spot that the Stripes started their last drive at. 3 and out for the Stars. 4:54 left here in the first quarter. No score. That second game we had between the Stars and the Stripes at the 14U level was extremely entertaining and high scoring. Final score ended up being 49-22 in favor of the Stripes. Each team wearing the Navy uniforms has come out on top. We'll see if we see that same trend continue. This one handed off close to the 1st down markers after a little scamper is Dominic Seaton running for the first time today out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Colorado Springs, of course, where the USA national team for the Olympics and the Olympics for Team USA train right up there.
Seaton actually headed into only his 8th grade year, so he's got another year on the youth level.
Oh, wow. He's laying a stiff arm here, one of the younger players, and he's swarmed by that Stripes defense.
Seaton only ends up almost finding his way back to the line of scrimmage, but he actually ends up with a -2 on the score chart that time. 3rd down and 7 on the way.
Big Gyra Mays in the middle of that D-line. Nowhere to go.
Mays has already wreaked havoc in the backfield over the last couple of drives. How about this one? Right in the backfield again. 2 players there. One was number 58, Justin Easel, excuse me. And I also think that number 81, Eric Billups, was also in. Right there. Easel was the one credited with the sack. And it's going to force another punt, 3 and out. Three returners back. Of course, punts are dead here at the middle school level. So no returns on kicks, no kickoffs either. This one's going to be reeled in right at the 21-yard line. Back and forth, these two teams go defensively with the stops. Nick, you and I talked about it in the open. We expected the trenches to play a role, but right now it's really been the defense and the defensive line outperforming the offensive line, and that's really been the factor so far here at the U15 level.
Yeah, both defenses right now being just a little more physical and getting those early jumps. They're getting in the backfield very early on, but a couple of good runs on the stripes side of things. But overall, just like you said, the defenses have been the aggressors of the two lines on the field. We'll see what the Stars can do here. Their second possession of the ball game, their third possession of the ball game. I beg your pardon.
Starting on the 21-yard line, and believe it or not, it's their best starting field position all day long. Get a little bit of blocking in front of this guy, and you may have some room to work with. As that time, like we talked about, Adam Martian out of East Providence, Rhode Island. He is a stud on the outside, and he has got some burner speed as well. As Marchak could get some room to work with and get some extra blocking in front of him, he could be off to the races pretty quickly on blink of an eye, and all of a sudden you see the Stars up on top if he's able to do so. They put him in motion again, handoff right up the middle, and stopped pretty quickly is Connor Gehring, Auburn, Pennsylvania native. He gets close to the first down marker, but it is going to be 3rd and very short.
Connor is an athlete who attended our New Jersey middle school showcase that actually happened inside the stadium, down on the field at MetLife, where the Giants and Jets play.
Lots of great venues. Offsides on the defense, pushes forward for a first down. That's the first down that the Stars have been able to gather throughout the game so far. Only one so far for the Stripes as well. Back in the shotgun, rolling out is Austin Havens, the new quarterback in for the Stars. Excuse me. He completes this pass to Gehring again, who once again gets close to the first down marker.
Gehring's an intriguing athlete. He's another kid who's only going into 8th grade next year.
Wow.
Already 6 foot, 165. Also good on defense as a linebacker. So bright future for him.
Toss off and to the left. Great play. Behind the line of scrimmage, down goes Gehring. That time it was big number 87, Cameron Miller out of Hamilton, Virginia. Miller flew in there untouched almost and got into the backfield. Makes it 3rd and long. Heavy dose so far of what we've seen from Connor Gehring. That one over the middle, off the top of the hands of the wideout. Quick chance there for Cameron Garrity to try and make a snag for an interception, but the ball does fall to the turf. 3 and out. And actually 1 first down for the Stars, but they are forced to punt here.
And again, the pressure coming off of the edge from the Stripes forced an early throw. Ends up being over the head or just off the fingertips of the wide receiver. Almost went into some traffic. Again, not able to convert on the 3rd down.
Another punt reeled in by Garrity, and we are once again going back and forth here in the first quarter like two boxers trying to feel each other out. There's that cliche for you, Al, as with 1:09 left here in the first quarter, neither team has been able to find a foothold offensively. I don't expect that to last very long here, Nick. If you are one of these two teams, you continue to pound the rock and try and find an open hole, let your offensive line do some work and find some different camaraderie and find a rhythm together, or do you try and go for the long ball and see what happens with your skills players and utilize the speed here?
It could be just my mentality, but I continue to chip away with the run, see what they do, and then set up a pass deep.
I agree with you 100%, Al, on that one. I think you try and get your rhythm going, try and open up a couple of lanes on the running side of things, and if you have a little bit of success, then it can open up maybe some open lanes on the outside and maybe a home run ball. Let your quarterback try and find a couple of those big targets on the outside.
And also, because of weather and thunderstorms in the area here in Canton over the past week, there were no scrimmages for these two teams. So not only have these teams not seen live action at all, but they have not seen each other yet. That was the case for our second game as well. The first game between the Pride and Courage, those were the only two teams that have actually seen each other so far. There's that ground game working out for a first down after the penalty. It doesn't matter. That's wiped away for Jacob Gibbons and his run again. He already had the run over 20 yards earlier, and this one goes close to that as well. 17 yards for big number 10.
You know what I love about that play is he put his foot in the ground, made one cut, and was north and south again rather than running east and west back and forth.
Definitely so. North to south. But he's also got some lateral movement as well. He can move side to side if he needs to as the quarter does come to an end. Still scoreless here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, a gorgeous campus right alongside the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, on August 4th, the new 2018 class will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, including Bears great Brian Urlacher, Ravens great Ray Lewis, and then their two teams will battle each other out for a preseason matchup right here on this very same field in this very same stadium. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, currently only 23,000 capacity, but that's going to be upped as soon as the end zone to our right is completed. That is not even up to that point yet. They're building a whole new hotel back behind the complex. It is really a special, special place. If you're a football fan, you've got to get to Canton, Ohio. And it really has been a great week here for the U.S. national team, culminating with an outstanding day of 3 different games in the middle school bowl game series. And I read an article this week. Peter Schwartz has a son, as this one goes over the top of the entire Stripes team. Blue Monroe had to jump on top of that loose ball way back behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 7 on the play. Actually, more than that. But anyways, back to Peter Schwartz. We were talking about the article. He has a son that's involved in the games as well. He's a radio host for CBS Radio up in New York, and he was saying there are a lot of different things that come out of the week, and his son said no place he would rather be. July 4th week with the U.S. colors represented everywhere and in the mecca and birthplace really of American football in its finest form, and that is exactly what this week has been for some of these youngsters. And then an opportunity to play at a stadium like this with the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the background. It is a memory that each and every one of these individuals will never forget. Lyron Young on the carry there. Alexander Perelstein out of Grafton, Wisconsin was there on the tackle.
And kind of going back to that, it's a well-deserved kind of week that these kids get. All the work that they put in during the school year, it's really starting in middle schools, where it starts getting a little more the homework and all that kind of stuff starts amping up, and then they're putting in all this work outside of school.
Look out, Blue Monroe's on the loose. Far side, found a hole, able to crash out of the pocket, and he's going to crash his way into the end zone. Touchdown, flag will fly. And this, unfortunately, may be coming back because Blue Monroe
just made a magnificent play. Talked about the gold ball that he has had on his trophy shelf for the past couple of months. That's exactly why. That was a veteran move. Pocket crashing around him, and he was able to escape it, go right through the middle of that hole, and then spark a long touchdown run, but it is going to be called back because of holding. A very, very unfortunate turn of events there for the Stripes.
Well, Blue Monroe right there showing the elusiveness and the speed, able to break out, but like you said, the holding penalty will erase that one. And now a very long third down situation for the Stripes after it looked like they had struck first. All of a sudden, a daunting task here on 3rd and long.
And they lost a lot of yardage on that initial play. Gained it back there easily. Now, chance here. This one over the top, and it's not reeled in. Great throw. That throw could not have been more on the money. Far side intended for Sebastian Lopez. Max Thompson is also in the game after Monroe had the long run, but Thompson did put it on the money that time. Holy cow.
Man, you walk into the game and that's your first throw on the money, 30 yards downfield.
I understand taking Blue Monroe out of the game after that long touchdown run. He did everything he needed to, and, well, there's no drop-off. Max Thompson coming in. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Another long way to go here to Ohio, but the punt does give it back over to the Stars. We've seen some action, but we have yet to see a touchdown. 4 straight punts from these two teams, 5 overall. The only time it was not a punt was whenever it was a turnover on downs in the red zone for the Stripes earlier in the ball game. But the Stars do take over here with 7:44
left in the first half of action. Kyle Yeomans alongside Nick Laupius and Al Pops. 3-man booth up here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Split backfield here for the Stars, wearing those gray unis. They're going to hand it off quickly to Raymond Brown. Playing quarterback
for the Stars right now. Back to Jaden Kiefner. Actually, Kiefner has not played just yet. Pittsfield, Massachusetts is where he reigns from.
He will be right in the backfield with Brown. Toss to the right. Brown trying to move his way past that offensive line and into the secondary. Doesn't get there, though. That linebacking core swallowed him up whole. And it sets up a 3rd and 6 on the way.
Both defenses have really showed the kind of closing speed and the skills to wrap up in the open field and the open field tackles that both defenses have made so far. And really not a lot of yards after contact for either offense.
3rd and 6. Got to get to the 40-yard line. Try and extend the drive. That one over the middle, and somehow that weaved its way through the defense. There were 2 Navy jerseys that had to get past, and somehow it did, and it was caught by Caden Huseby. Oh, man, what a rifling passer from Kiefner, rolling out on the bootleg. Max Walters was there. Devin Malloy was also one of the Navy jerseys that was in the vicinity that really could have picked that ball off, but it went right through their hands. Sets up a 1st down and more. Now the handoff, or a little short toss, rather, to Raymond Brown. And it'll set up about a 2nd and 8. 6 minutes left on the clock and counting here in the 2nd quarter. All these defenses in that 4-3 look. Shifting around the defensive line here before this snap. They're going to have a player in motion. Back in the shotgun, deep shotgun here for Kiefner. Gives it to Brown. Brown shakes off a tackler. He's got a lot of green on that far side, and he's going to attack it. 2 men to beat. Lays a stiff arm, gets pushed out of bounds, and poor Logan Koval. As Logan just went straight down to the ground that time. Actually, that was Cameron Garrity that went down to the ground, but it's not a lot you can do when you're one-on-one with Raymond Brown. He went far side, could have been tackled about 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then shifted back
to the far side of the field, and everybody was already piled up in a mass of humanity right near the numbers on this home sideline, and because of that, there was just a lot of space to work with there, Nick.
That, and then not to mention the stiff arm. He just laid it out.
Yeah, that was pretty good, pretty nice.
Yeah, the speed that Brown able to show off, and showing off the downfield vision, seeing that there wasn't a lot of opportunities here on the near sideline, able to kick it back, and like you said, almost got tackled for a loss of 3 or 4, but able to elude a couple of the defenders, kicks it back to the outside, has that speed and the explosiveness to get toward that far sideline, lays out the stiff arm, and gets a big first down.
Yeah, you talk about how athletic Brown was. We mentioned him earlier in grabbing the gold ball from his time in Washington, D.C. in one of those camps for USA football. A lot of smart individuals, but not only smart, you got to be athletic as well, and you also got to be a good character outside of this. Al, I know you had a big role in terms of selecting some of these different individuals to be able to come here to the USA Middle School Bowl Game Series. What all goes into that? We haven't talked about that enough, because it really is a long, lengthy process to try and figure out who deserves to come and wear the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't just an event you can show up and say, I want to play in it. You have to go to one of our 30 regional camps that we had this past year. You have to be nominated to attend.
Wow.
Once we receive your nomination, we review it and give you an invitation. After you show up, you have to show out. I mean, we had thousands of kids show up at our 30 regionals this year, and then you get to be selected for this game. So it's not one of those things where mommy and daddy said I can play football. I mean, you earn your way here. So it all starts by attending one of our 30 camps that we hold February through June, and then they all end up here.
Look at this throw. Back shoulder, it's caught for the touchdown. Oh, my. Kiefner just put it on the money, and Cade Schnitzel just pulled it down. The Lennox, South Dakota native makes it a 6-0 lead for the Stars. That might have been the best throw of the day so far. Back shoulder, and then one of the best adjustments, too, is Schnitzel just had to turn around and pull that one down off balance with a defender draped all over him.
It's not often you see players this young be able to turn around and locate the ball at its highest point and go up and grab it, and then comes down and trucks over a defender and gets into the end zone. But like, you're exactly right. I think that might be the best pass that we've seen so far today. Back shoulder only where his guy, and I mean literally only where his guy could get it, right around the 4-yard line. And what a pretty display of passing right there on a day where we've seen a lot of really nice displays of passing.
Number 93, Tyler Morgan out of Berkshire, Texas, on for the PAT, and he knocks it through to make it 7-0.
Call me soft about that, but the coolest thing about that play was that a quarterback from Massachusetts just connected with a wide receiver from South Dakota.
That is really cool.
You know, that's not going to happen every day in the regular youth league. That's what makes events like this awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool. And not only was that connection, it looked like they were usual buddies. I mean, the fact that you know that as Schnitzel is a wide receiver there, that back shoulder is a possibility, and you look up and you know you have to make that type of adjustment. And this ball is going to be put on the turf. It's picked up and taken into the end zone. It took 5 minutes, or it took 15 minutes for a score to happen, and it takes 5 seconds for the second score to happen. A scoop and score from Weston Pemberton and Martinsville, Indiana, taking it all the way in. And it's 13-0 in a blink of an eye. And the Stars have taken it and put themselves on top.
Well, Kyle, like we talked about in the open, the line play, the trenches, battle in the trenches, I think was going to be the biggest determiner. And right there, we saw about 3 gray jerseys on the quarterback pretty much as the ball was snapped, and able to force the loose ball, and then the scoop and score by Pemberton. There's another Indiana product right there. You were talking about a lot of talent from Indiana those first 2 games. Another Indiana native able to get the touchdown, and just like that, 14-0, like you said, in the blink of an eye.
Holy cow. I mean, that was not even funny how close together those 2 scores were, because you even talk about the touchdown throw. That throw was from about 37 yards out, and then you end up turning around and a fumble recovery 5 seconds later on the game clock, and we've got ourselves a completely different outlook. 14-0 as Morgan knocks that one through as well. We saw a scoop and score earlier in the day. Actually, it was game number 2. But that was late in the game. This is at a huge point
And then
in
they
this
are
ball
again.
game. Yeah, they're all the way in the backfield again. There is an extra breath of life here in the second quarter from this Stars defense.
Dominic Sutton with the reception, number 2.
Saw a defensive player in that first game as well, actually, with a scoop and score. Lockamy, who ended up with the MVP as he took one in for a score, touchdown-wise. That was late in that game and ended up clinching it for the Courage Ball Club. Stripes right now trying to become the only team wearing the Navy uniforms today to come out on the losing end of things. Courage won game 1, and then the Stripes won game 2. They're trailing here, though, in the 15U ranks, and the flats have been covered all day long by the Stars. A couple different gray jerseys in there almost immediately.
I think that was Zaire Riley. We were talking about there was another, I believe, another gold ball winner from one of the regional camps who had that interception there in the first quarter, but was taken back in the pass interference. But right there, able to fight through the block and trip up the wide receiver as he was trying to get to that second level. So a good play by Riley, able to fight off that block and make that open field tackle.
Yeah, Riley was there, and then also Billups, who has been very active on that defensive line wearing the number 81. He was also in the backfield as well. Love the complex schemes as this one's incomplete. Definitely a forward pass there.
That pass is intended for number 7.
Some of these defensive schemes are a little bit more complex. You see the shifting on the line of scrimmage right up as the snap is taken, and it really makes for some intense learning. These are schemes that high school teams are going to throw at you on the varsity level almost immediately, and as skillful as some of these individuals are, you'd expect next year for them to maybe be at that varsity level. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half of action. We'll have a 15-minute break at halftime, then we'll come back with a scoring summary and get you set up for half number 2. This one's going to be corralled by the Stars right at the 46-yard line. The punt not helping the case so far of the Stripes. They've punted every single time they've had the ball, or they had the turnover on downs earlier in the game.
Tackle Cube USA is a great tool to teach.
Stars get it back, though, here with 2:23 remaining in the second quarter.
Track and tackle a moving target.
See what quarterback comes out here for the Stars. That last time out, it was a beautiful throw from Jaden Kiefner to Cade Schnitzel. 4-5 for the score.
Probably the best pass that we've seen all day.
Oh, it was outstanding.
Over a
Outstanding
couple of cornerbacks and right where only his receiver could pull it down.
Peter Zamora is in at quarterback, and they hand it off here to the wide receiver. Far side, Adam Marshett again, who's also been very active. They love giving him that wide receiver sweep, and he does get pushed out of bounds after a gain of 14 on the play.
He's another athlete we saw at our Baltimore regional camp, and you know, when I first saw him, I thought, man, this is a perfect slot receiver, but here they go giving him the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, he has been active. That's the third or fourth time that they've done that. They might do it again here. They do fake it. And instead, they give it to Brown. Brown bounces to the outside, goes to his left, and he's pushed down on the sideline in between the yard markers as well. Got a gain of 4. We'll give him 3 on the first down play. 2:14 and counting. Clock is stopped currently. A 14-0 lead for the Stars, who have it currently on the 28-yard line. Pro Football Hall of Fame Stadium. Second year of its newly renovated site. Of course, they still have a little bit more to go. So the timeout's called with 2:12 on the clock. Plenty of time for the Stars to try and tack on another one before halftime. You're the Stripes here, though, Nick. You've got to get a stop and then think about putting any kind of points up on the board that can help you out going into the halftime break. A little bit of momentum on your side.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now, obviously, trying to get this stop. And if you can keep it, worst case scenario, maybe after a stop, keep it a 14-0 going into the half. It's end up being a good situation for the Stripes, and right now just got to try and slow down Raymond Brown. We saw early on in this game, he's pretty explosive, and he does a good job of getting out to the outsides pretty quickly and can make life difficult on that secondary. He can get there up to that level pretty quickly, but you're exactly right here. Second down, the Stripes looking to get a stop and then maybe a quick score before the half ends.
Good play there from Zamora. Had to range out, was under pressure, but he does find Brooks Bortle.
Number 13.
As Bortle was able to get both hands underneath it to make a grab there.
Bortle was the MVP of International Bowl this past January. Walked home with a U.S. National Team Championship belt.
Oh, wow.
Good-looking player.
He was able to get both hands underneath it. And, you know, that being said, that's easier said than done. You're falling forward, going back toward the football. That was a different turn there from Zamora, and he fires it over to Bortles again. Out of Woodstock, California, but you end up talking about having to come forward, keep your body as far under control as possible, and then also keep your head up in order to reel that one in. It's tough to do.
I love watching Zamora down on the field. He plays with that South Florida swagger, kind of gets everybody lined up, and you know, it's full go with him all the time.
Coral Springs, Florida, for Zamora. I know there's one quarterback I know named Zamora. There is a lot of space. Brown, foot race. He's going to have to get inside. He does. He reaches the pylon, and he will score. That was a brilliant play call from the Stars coaching staff. They forced everyone to the right side of the field and had Brown all by his lonesome, heading the opposite direction. Zamora whipped it around, pulled a 180, and then it was all Brown back to the end zone for the score. And the Stars are dominating this first half of action.
And it looked like Zamora trying to lead Brown on that pass. Looked like it might have been a little bit too out in front of Brown, but he's able to get his front hand on it and then reel it in. And then again, the explosiveness to get to that corner and able to get into the end zone for the touchdown.
That South Florida swagger. You talked about it. How about the Chester, Virginia swagger as well? Able to grab that one and then truck his way in. He had two Navy jerseys coming at him, but he knew how to avoid both of them. And I thought he was going to have to dive toward the end zone. He walked in. He stood up on his way in, which is even more impressive to me. That just shows how quick he is and how much he can turn the corner when need be. And he did just that to make it 21-0, as the point after was good as well. Once again from Tyler Morgan.
Brown, a talented young kid, comes from the Central Virginia Hurricanes youth program. Actually, same program as Trayvon Alford from the previous game.
Oh, wow.
They were just on different age levels, but same powerhouse program there in Central Virginia, producing players.
You know, we were talking earlier about these individuals and playing in the shadow of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So many legends have been in this stadium. Everybody excited to play here. And as a youngster like that, that's something you never forget. But there's also some more legends on the way. Maroon 5 has a concert here next week. That's great.
Pitbull was here last week.
Really?
Dottie.
That's interesting. Pitbull.
What's Pitbull doing in Canton, Ohio?
Canton, Ohio. Well, he couldn't sell out tickets anywhere else, I guess.
Guys, he's Mr. Worldwide.
He is Mr. Worldwide. 205, right? I don't know what he says. I think that's it. 305. There it is. This is the 330 zip code, though. Stripes trying to make something happen before halftime, and they may just do so. Over the top of the entire defense, Sebastian Lopez trying to get to the end zone, and he will do that. Lopez to the house. What a throw from Max Thompson. Thompson, who we talked about earlier, had come in, made one throw that was on the money, and that one may have been even better. Led his receiver, and Lopez did the rest of the work. 80 yards in one play.
And we've got ourselves maybe a little bit of a ball game. The Stripes are on the board.
And again, some good protection up front on the offensive line gives Thompson and Lopez some time to find each other. And like you said, a perfect pass from Thompson leading to Lopez, able to make the catch, and then he's off to the races and able to get into the end zone for the first touchdown for the Stripes. We'll have the snap go over the head of the holder.
How many times are you going to see this? When the kick is dead, I think they're going to just let him redo it. Oh, now they're going to call a false start. I thought they were going to let him kick it there for a minute. Snap goes over the head, and you go grab the ball, come all the way back, and then set it up. I like this better, though. Let's get it right. Let's make sure that we earn that extra point. And this snap right on the money. And the field goal kick is up and good as well.
21-7.
Talked about making something happen before halftime, and Sebastian Lopez says, hey, I got you. How about let's take it to the house, lose all the defenders in the dust as well. 80 yards on the one play for the touchdown. And we've got ourselves a two-possession game. Now, the Stars had the ball first, so the Stripes will start with the football in the second half. And they're going to just take a knee here with 25 seconds left and be happy with a 14-point advantage heading into the halftime break. It's 21-7. Nick, what are your final thoughts as we head into the halftime break? Stripes maybe with a little bit of momentum and a chance with a touchdown to start the third quarter to get right back in the thick of things.
Well, I think I might have been a little bit off in my assumption that maybe the line play would be the biggest part. Obviously, I think it's the quarterbacks have been spectacular. We've seen a huge step up for this game here by these quarterbacks, some spectacular passing, and then the receivers. Well, we talked a lot about the speed that we've seen this afternoon. Well, we're seeing even more of it from this wide receiving core. So it's been a lot of fun to watch on the offensive side, and now the Stripes getting that score at the very end of the half. It's only a two-possession game, and like you said, they'll start the second half off with the ball. We'll see if they can come in with that momentum off that big touchdown from Lopez.
So we're 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Halftime is here. 21-4 the Stars, and for the Stripes, they've got 7. 14-point game heading into the halftime break here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. When we come back in just a little bit, we will give you a update on the scoring summary, which definitely got a little bit of a change toward the end there, and then we'll also get you ready for quarter number 3. You're watching the 2018 USA Football Middle School Bowl Game Series live right here on USA Football and presented by Game On Sports.
We've eliminated special teams to get more snaps on offense and defense. We get to focus on
We've seen the light. We already have the jitters. Now it's time to play ball.
Back here from beautiful Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. It's the 2018 USA Football National Team Middle School Bowl Game Series, the 9-year-old year of this event in a beautiful venue as we have ourselves a little bit of a game. What once looked like a dominant outing in that first half, which was definitely dominant from the Stars' perspective, who were once leading 21-0. Well, it's now kind of switched back into momentum-wise into the favor of the Stripes, who will have the ball to start off this third quarter. Kyle Young's alongside Nick Laupius. Do want to thank Al Pops for all of his work. He is now on his USA football duties side of the day, as he will no longer be up in the booth with us, but he has been outstanding in helping us prepare for what an awesome event this has been for the Middle School Bowl Game Series. Do want to run through the scoring summary so far. Talked about the dominant start for the Stars. They started off with a touchdown in drive number 3 of the day. They had a touchdown pass from Jaden Kiefner to Cade Schnitzel, an outstanding throw on the back shoulder, spinning, grabbing it was Schnitzel as he barreled his way into the end zone. And then just 3 seconds later on the game clock, it ended up turning around and fumble from the Stripes' perspective on play 1 of their drive, and then it only took a couple seconds from the 20-yard line in for that one to scoop and score its way to a 14-0 lead. They then tacked on another one with a Raymond Brown touchdown run, and then right at the end of the half, as we get started here in the third quarter already, a quick run here from the Stripes and Jacob Gibbons, the running back that we touted very highly in that first half, but we talked about how the Stripes really needed something to happen, Nick, at the end of that quarter, and they finally got that type of play. Max Thompson threw it all the way downfield to Sebastian Lopez over the top of the defense, and Lopez took it to the house. That was just a couple minutes, or really just a couple seconds before the end of the first half. Now they get the ball back here. It's Gibbons in the backfield, and he breaks away from a wimpy tackler, gets 3 yards on the play before he's pushed down on the home sideline to make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Kyle, it's exciting first half. Like you said, the Stripes just looking for something to get some momentum going into halftime break, and they got that with the Thompson-Lopez hookup for that touchdown. Like you said, only a couple of seconds left on the game clock at that time, so that was big for them to get back on the board, or get on the scoreboard officially, and now starting off good. Got a first down here, and now on the second down, trying to keep this drive going and bring it back into a one-possession game. But I do want to say also a big thank you to Al, and it was great having him up here. I mean, he had just so much knowledge. Obviously, when you work with the organization, you're going to have a lot of knowledge. It's just cool having him up here and just hearing all the stories from all these kids. And again, 37 different states. He talked about there's a connection, Massachusetts quarterback hitting a South Dakota wide receiver. It's something you don't see very often, and again, just to hear him and the stories from all the camps that he's traveled throughout the nation, and meeting these kids and their stories, hearing their stories, it was just really cool and added just a whole nother layer to this weekend.
Yeah, it really has been a special week for some of these players, or really all of these players, I should say. He is definitely put together a great event. How about this one over the top? It's underthrown and it's picked off. A one-armed grab in the secondary, pulled out of a hat for the turnover. Oh my, highlight reel play. That's a middle schooler, Sports Center. He just made an absolute brilliant grab. Julian Dietrich out of Plymouth, Minnesota. Oh my. I am astonished currently. Hashtag SC Top 10. Team USA, get on the horn right now, because ESPN needs to pick that up. That was a magnificent play in the secondary. The ball underthrown a little bit, but I thought if somebody was going to have a chance at the interception, it was going to be the other safety. I had no idea that Dietrich even had a chance to make that grab.
That was an Odell Beckham-like grab right there. It almost looked like he used 3 fingers to reel that one in. Climbing the ladder, brings it in with one hand, and able to hold on to possession as he goes to the ground. A huge play gives the Stars their first possession here in the second half, and stifles the Stripes' momentum that they had coming out of the halftime break.
Wow. Julian Dietrich with probably the play of the day. And we've had some outstanding plays already, but that was impressive. Third and very short. At the length of the football. No, they're going to give it to him. First down here for the Stars as they move the chains for the first time here on this drive. Austin Havens in at quarterback out of Asheboro, North Carolina. Not to be confused with Asheville, North Carolina. Different ashes that way. And wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good play defensively there from the Stripes as they got to Connor Gehring pretty quickly there.
Looked like linebacker Carter Wyatt was right there. There's another North Carolina product able to get his way into the backfield pretty quickly and drag him down. And we've seen a little bit more penetration in this game from both defensive lines. Been doing a lot of living over in the opposing backfield.
Yeah, they've definitely stepped it up since those first couple of touchdown drives. Forced to punt the last time the Stars had the football. Pressure here, that one just had to get rid of it. As Havens saw his life flash before his eyes, a couple Navy jerseys heading straight at him. Before they ran him over, he was able to get rid of that football. It's going to be third and about 15 from the 38-yard line. 7:27 on the clock here in the third quarter. Flags fly, false start. And it'll back itself up a little bit more. 3rd and 22 now on the way. Actually, it's going to be about 3rd and 20, excuse me. Yeah, Connor Gehring in the backfield. Austin Havens, but the real star of today's game has definitely been the defensive unit for the Stars. Had the scoop and score earlier, and then the big interception there, and then also the fact that with the exception of one play, they've held the Stripes really to nothing with some high-octane players on their end as well. Offense has had 2 touchdown drives, but both of which have been set up very nicely by that defense. Here, though, the Stripes defense forces a punt, stands strong. And the Stars will get it back. That one grabbed by the Stripes.
Well, Kyle, I'll tell you what, this has been a very exciting day, and again, I'm just so impressed by just all the talent that these young kids have. It's really incredible, and again, talked about all the work that goes in throughout. Like he said, the camps that go around the nation starting in February, and then you have this whole week getting to meet a lot of people from all over the country, 37 states represented here this week, and it's just really a cool experience. And I tell you what, these kids are making the most of it. We've seen some spectacular plays throughout the week, and from some kids that the youngest born in 2005. It's kind of crazy to start thinking about that. It wasn't too long ago, and these young kids out here making some spectacular plays, and obviously pretty soon we'll be seeing their names and hearing their names pretty often.
I know Al was talking about it earlier with the states being represented, 37 states, and he thought it was really cool earlier in the game when Kiefner connected the schnitzel for, that sounds like a Boston dish, Kiefner schnitzel, or a German dish, I guess would be the way to say it. But anyways, whenever Kiefner connected with Schnitzel for the touchdown pass, he said that's a Massachusetts quarterback connecting with a South Dakota wide receiver. You don't see that in youth football normally. Like, that's what's special about this event. But I think another thing that is really extremely, extremely cool about especially the Canton branch of this middle school bowl game series is the fact that the past of football and pro football, legends of the sport meet up with the future of the sport. And I said it in the open, but I think that's one of the coolest aspects about having this event held here in Canton, Ohio, is you see the past legends. We got to walk through the Hall of Fame yesterday. Current legends are also on showcase, definitely throughout the entire exhibit there. And then you turn around and have the opportunity to play on this field. It's pretty incredible. That one bounced up in the air and it's picked off right on top of the Hall of Fame logo. It hit off the hands of Sebastian Lopez, and Singleton came down with it. Jaleel Singleton out of Waldorf, Maryland, was able to make the grab. Wow.
Pinball action right there off the defender or off the receiver's hands and then right into the arms of the defense. Another turnover from the Stripes gives the Stars another possession. 5.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3, still 21-7. The Stars lead, and we've seen a couple of fortunate bounces for the Stars. They did have the defensive score, Weston Pemberton with the scoop and score earlier in the game, and now the second interception for the Stars.
Yeah, 3 turnovers now forced by that Stars defense. Stripes have struggled to get into the end zone. That one play, and I think it might have been the same play call that the Stripes did score on earlier with Thompson. That time they had a different quarterback, and I believe it was Blue Monroe who threw the pass that ended up getting intercepted. Not a bad pass, just kind of was behind his receiver, bounced off his hands. It's not a pass that's normally intercepted, just usually one that would fall incomplete, but the bounce did fall in favor of the Stars, and Singleton was in the right place at the right time. Third down quickly here for the Stars, though. Stripes defense trying to hold up their end of the bargain to keep themselves within striking distance, which they definitely are in right now. 4:46 left in the third quarter. Still a whole nother quarter left to play. And it's still only 21-7. Kiefner back into the game for the Stars here. He's the one that did throw the touchdown pass earlier. Only touchdown pass we've seen from the Stars' perspective in their 3 that they've had. And the touchdown throw had a scoop and score, and then a touchdown run there from number 3 in Raymond Brown. That one also on the near side, going to the right, intending to try and hit his target. I'm trying to look at the number here. Tough numbers to see, but it's Brooks Bortle was his intended target out of Woodstock, Georgia.
Bortle never saw that. He never turned around.
Yeah, just never had it. You see that every once in a while. Of course, along with learning how to play with each other, you got to learn to play with a playbook that some of these coaches have. And it ends up in a punt here for the Stars. Gathered in right at the 25-yard line. 2 straight punts. Start off the second half. Defense has definitely stepped up. Do want to mention the coaching staffs for both of these teams. Stars right now with Adam Neugebauer as their head football coach out of Georgetown. Of course, a basketball powerhouse, but also pretty good at the Division II level in football. And you've also got offensive coordinator Ryan Struthers, Chadwick Louisville. From the defensive coordinator, he's from Mount Vernon, which is in Pennsylvania, or in Virginia, excuse me. Assistant coach Shelton Bynum, Brian Hodge, Connor Schildis, and Terry Donovan rounding out the Stars coaching staff. And then on the other side for the Stripes, you've got David Denham out of Wabash College. He is the head football coach. Darrell Hughes is the offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator Tyrone Young. And then the assistant coaches Ryan Stokes, Brad Wilson, Brian Watson, and Adam Schrack. Schrack out of Notre Dame College. Not Notre Dame, Notre Dame College. I know you're a big Fighting Irish fan over there, Nick Laupius, but Notre Dame College, which is also in Ohio.
Oh, is it really?
It is in Ohio, yeah. That's how I knew it wasn't the actual
It wasn't the University of Notre Dame.
It said Ohio. That one out of bounds. Able to keep his feet in to reel it in was Jack Tremblay out of Frankfort, Illinois.
Yeah, but talking about the coaching staffs here, and that's obviously the biggest part of this whole week and these camps. You get this, all these upper-level coaches, this upper-level coaching for these young players to take that talent that they already have and just try and utilize it and be more effective. And so having these coaches and getting all this type of coaching up throughout the week is definitely a huge advantage to the players that are invited to these games.
Yeah, definitely so. It's always a plus, especially heading into their next football season. These individuals, most of them starting their high school careers. Some will be on varsity next year. Blue Monroe with a good pass there. It just goes out of the hands of wide receiver Logan Koval. 4th down and 8. And it looks like a punt on the way. No surprise on the punt this time. Just because of the fact that there's a lot of game left to play. Just under 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. And the way that the defense has been playing so far for the Stripes, they could potentially get back in it very quickly as long as they can keep the Stars off the board here. 3:46 left, 21-7 in favor of the Stars. Stars in gray, Stripes in the blue. Trying to go away victorious here from Canton, Ohio, the end of a long week. Players have been here for about 6 days or so. Some of the USA football crew, we were talking to them yesterday, they've been here for almost 11 days now.
Yeah, I think so.
Crazy. 11 days to try and make this event happen, and they have done a magnificent job. Players staying and eating their meals over at Wabash College. Off on the other side of Canton. Kent State also in the vicinity. This one out of bounds again. Brown's definitely had a heavy dosage in the backfield. Brown, Connor Gehring, two of the only running backs on the entire roster. Only 2 running backs. Which is surprising because we've seen a lot of different running backs throughout the first 2 games, but here in the 15U level, only the 2 for the Stars. For the Stripes, you've got Dominic Seaton that we've seen, Torrin Harmon, Jacob Gibbons. Gibbons has had a great game. They've got 3. Looks like a timeout called here. Talk some things over. 3:40 left on the clock.
USA Football created Heads Up Football, the nationally endorsed player health and safety program.
USA Football, first year of this event like we talked about here in Canton. Middle school bowl game series. We'll also have a Frisco leg, which is in Frisco, Texas, at the home of the Dallas Cowboys headquarters, called the Star in Frisco. You and I have had the chance to broadcast some lacrosse from there, basketball from there. The Conference USA tournament was held in that vicinity. We've done some football games as well with a couple different Texas high school football teams down there. And there's a lot of great talent in that area. That promises to be an outstanding game from an outstanding venue there as well. It's a little bit different, I think. We were talking about the atmosphere and the different ambiance of being with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but being with the Dallas Cowboys, that is a magnificent thing in itself as well. And the Star in Frisco is a premier, not only practice facility, but it's to me, I think it's the ideal place to hold a football event underneath the college level. Youth football, high school football, it is the perfect venue to do so, and that's going to be a lot of fun as well. You can catch that one here on USA Football, and then also presented by Game On Sports. Nick, you'll be along for the ride there, along with another one of our good friends, Zach Wolchuk, will be on the call for that. Zach is watching back from Dallas currently. That should be a magnificent weekend in itself. July 22nd is game day, but a week leading up to that of practices at UT Arlington, where that will be held. Punt forced again here by the Stripes defense, though. Spiraling punt. Corralled right at the 49-yard line. They'll give it to him at the 40. 39. Switching it back and forth. 3:15 left here in the 3rd quarter.
The defense for the Stripes have been spectacular here in the second half, really suffocating. We saw Raymond Brown in that first half. Well, he had no problems getting to the outside and getting to that second level, but they kind of stifled him and the whole Stars offense in the second half. Still 3:15 remaining in quarter number 3. No scores yet here in this second half, when we see the Stripes now another opportunity to try and pull within one possession. Their defense is standing tall now. See if the offense can get some more points up on the board.
Wide receiver in motion. You've got the quarterback in there that has had the most success throwing the rock so far, and that's big number 6, Max Thompson. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Long way to go. I wonder how far that would be from here in Canton. Wearing the big number 6 jersey. 6 foot, 180 pounds. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 960 miles away. That's a 14-hour drive, if you were wondering.
That pass is caught by number 11.
Well worth it, though, to be able to play with some of the best of your age group and get the coaching, play at the Hall of Fame Stadium, go see the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, definitely so. It is a great week for youth football, especially with these players knocking on the door of their high school level. How about this one, running for a first down and getting past the marker on 3rd and short. Max Thompson had the pocket collapse right around him, but he's able to gain at least enough to move the chains, and it keeps the drive alive now in the enemy territory, trying to knock on the door and make it a one-possession game.
Huge conversion there. Thompson showing off a little bit of the speed, and then got a little bit of extra help from the defense. So one defender kind of pushed him past that marker, but they'll take it. Now getting into the Stars territory. A minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Looks like a false start. A couple of players on the Stripes moved a little early.
That's one of the ones where you're, as an official, you make the call on the mic and you say, false start, everyone but the center. Everybody was going there. Had the hard count from Max Thompson back behind in the shotgun and threw a couple of Navy jerseys off just before the snap. 1:11 left here in the third. Clock continues to run. 1st and 15, back into their own territory past the midfield marker. 3 wide receivers. He's got Harmon, to his right. Throws this one toward the original line of scrimmage to about the 45-yard line. Or it's pushed out of bounds. Complete pass there to Ryan McPherson, one of the tight ends out of Brick, New Jersey. Brick, like a clay brick.
Like a brick.
Like a brick. He's a brick. You got it.
Is that a song?
The Brick House?
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping you would finish it for me, but you never did. Left me hanging there. It's okay. I'll give you a pass. You're a lot younger than I am.
2 years.
2nd down and 8. This one's handed off up the middle. Good yardage already there from Harmon. Not close to the markers, and it's definitely a 3rd and manageable. About the same distance to the first down marker that the Stripes had the last time when Thompson was able to run for the first. That might be the final play here in the third quarter. Actually, no, it looks like the Stars...
You're going to rush to the line.
Yeah, the Stripes are going to rush to the line. Stars got to make a stop here on 3rd and short. 5 seconds left. The snap is off in time. Throw to the right. Good play call. It's caught. One broken tackle and finally pushed out of bounds at the 27. The clock does run out in the third quarter, but as we head to the fourth, the Stripes are definitely threatening to get right back in the thick of things. 21-7 to score here. They are now inside the 30-yard line, trying to get back within one possession. And with 10 minutes left on the board here, Nick, the Stripes are definitely not out of this yet, even though they did trail 21-0 at toward the end of that second quarter.
Oh, they definitely are. The defense was spectacular in the third quarter, and then right there you saw Jordan Pearson, wide receiver out of Birmingham, Alabama, a good clean route as they hurried up to the line, able to cut back, make the catch, and break one tackle, get some extra yardage for the first down to keep the drive going. Now with 10 minutes left in regulation, they're well into Stars territory, looking to make it a one-possession game. Their defense has been able to slow down the Stars in that third quarter. Now the Stripes looking to get the first score of the second half between either of these two teams.
Every score has come in that second quarter. These two teams were scoreless at the end of one as well. Second quarter, 21 points for the Stars, 7 for the Stripes, and now the Stripes trying to flip the script a little bit. They can get a score here and another defensive stop, then they've got momentum and a chance to tie the ball game up. Plenty of time to do so. They'll start the fourth quarter, fresh set of downs in the 28-yard line in front of them. Handoff up the middle, nice move. Shifting through a couple tacklers and then barreling through a defender. As once again, Jacob Gibbons showing off the speed and the shiftiness to get around some potential defenders. I do just want to mention this. Nathan Sullivan just checked in out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Haven't called his name a whole lot, but I am going to call it for this. He just ran into the wrong huddle. Gotta love that.
Well, these jerseys are confusing.
They are they're very close together. Here's Gibbons again on the run. Don't mean to call out the young man, but I definitely did.
I don't blame him. I
don't either. I think I would do the same thing.
Going back to Jacob Gibbons, though, I was getting to talk to Al on the phone a couple days ago. He told me Gibbons kind of reminds him of a Barry Sanders type of running back early on. Obviously very strong lower body and just breaks tackles left and right. And it's just very hard to contain him. We've seen that on full display. But I did want to mention that's kind of a celebrity kind of comparison or a pro comparison for the running back.
Well, Thompson just completed the pass to himself, but it did go for a loss. Marcus Mariota would be proud, but threw it on the right side of the line. It was batted down immediately by one of the defensive linemen, trying to see if I can find out who that was. Actually, it was Anthony Little that knocked it down, and it went right back into the hands of Thompson. And for about a 4-yard loss, though. May have just let that one fall. Trying to make a play, though. And it's going to be 3rd and long. Got to get to the goal line, score on this play. Important play right here for the Stripes. It's put on the ground. Thompson trying to heave it to his tailback. It hits the turf. And they're trying to call for intentional grounding on the near side. I don't think so. There's a receiver definitely in the vicinity, but it does set up a 4th and 14 to get to the goal line. Looks like they are going to go for it, and if they are going to go for it, they're going to need to have more protection on the offensive line than that last play. That defensive line for the Stars is definitely barreling down, trying to get a sack here.
Almost looked like a miscommunication on the offensive line. There's a couple of defensive linemen that were able to work just right on through one touch. So I know we talked about that in game number 2, that these teams, they only have 1 week together, so especially being on the offensive
wide
line.
Open receiver, he got him! On 4th and 14, got to get to the goal line. They do just that, and it's a connection that happened earlier. For the Stripes, it's Max Thompson to Sebastian Lopez. Lopez takes it in again, his 2nd reception, both of which have come out of the hands of number 6, and we've got ourselves a one-possession ball game.
Well, that's exactly what you called for. They needed better protection. They got Thompson a little more time, and then Lopez, this is just a streak to the end zone. He's able to beat his man cleanly off the line, and Thompson able to find him, throws it over the shoulder, and Lopez able to make the grab and run to the end zone for the touchdown. One-possession game.
4th and goal on the 14. Having the play call, confident enough to go for it, and that coaching staff did just that, and Thompson delivered to Lopez for the score, 21-14, as the point after was good as well. And my goodness, David Denham
Wabash College head coach definitely pulled a rabbit out of the hat there. It's the same sort of play, just a lot shorter yardage that they scored on the same time, or the same way earlier in the ball game. Same two individuals on that seam route right up the middle, and got to give credit to Thornton as well, or Thompson as well, putting that one on the money. Now the Stripes get a chance to make a stop defensively. Stars got to answer on offense. And wide receiver sweep, ball pops out, but I think he was down beforehand, and the whistles do blow. Back at quarterback is Peter Zamora. He's had some outstanding drives led so far. Can't help but think if somehow Zamora is able to power his team to a score here, that he would be right up at the top of that MVP caliber list. He's got Connor Gehring to his left, 3 receivers to his right. The lone receiver on the near side, all by himself, but closer to the line because of the way that this field is set up for the Stars. Gives it in the flats to Gehring. Takes it about 3 yards, and it's going to be a 3rd and 7 on the way. Stripes have forced 4 straight punts against the Stars. Last touchdown came just before halftime when Brown was able to rumble his way inside the far pylon. 6:04 and counting left in the ball game. Stripes taking their time, or the Stars taking their time rather, here in 3rd and 7. Quick drop, throw near side, it's complete. One move, breaks past the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down. And the Cade Schnitzel again, who had the touchdown reception earlier, gets a big 1st down. That time for the Stars to keep the drive alive and, more importantly, kill some clock here against the Stripes.
That was a big move he made as soon as he made the grab, a little bit of a shifty action, able to get past the cornerback and break into that second level again and get past the 1st down marker and keep the clock running for the Stars and get some of the fresh set of downs.
Zamora back in the shotgun. Tailback on his right, hands it off. Spin move, breaks away from a tackle, gains about 4 yards on the carry before he's chopped down by that Stripes defense. Wouldn't be surprised to see a heavy dose of running game from the Stars here on this current drive. We're past the halfway point in the 4th quarter, 4:50 left in the ball game. Stars trying to hold on. They led 21-0 in the 2nd quarter, late in the 2nd quarter. And then a touchdown at the end of the half set things up momentum-wise for the Stripes to take advantage. They went the 3rd quarter scoreless, and then a touchdown early here in the 4th makes it a 1-possession game. Timeout called, 3rd down, and the clock will stop at 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
It's going to be a big 3rd down and 2 for the Stars. We'll see what they end up doing. I have a lot of weapons, a couple of really solid running backs. We'll see what they end up going with. But the Stripes, the defense has been spectacular all second half, and this is going to be obviously their biggest moment. Calling a timeout, stop the clock and try and get a stop and have plenty of time to try and even things up.
Yeah, definitely a huge 3rd down on the way. Stars were able to convert their last 3rd down opportunity. Came earlier in the drive. Stars trying to do that again. Stripes, on the other hand, trying to force the 4th straight punt. On the defensive side of things, very important to get a good push on the line here. Whoever wins this next play in the trenches may very well force a change of possession. 3rd and short, 4:25 left here in the 4th quarter, and it's a QB sneaking a big hit late on top of Zamora. did not get to the line of scrimmage, or barely got past the line of scrimmage, did not get to the line to gain. And Zamora is calling for a first down. He definitely did not get there. And he is arguing with his coaching staff. They might be doing the same thing again here. Getting up on the line, see if they can stop him. He pushes past, definitely got a first down that time. On 4th and inches, Zamora with his helmet popped off, calling for the first down there that time as well. Al said it earlier, Zamora plays with that South Florida swagger, and you see it there. 2 straight QB sneaks, and he got up both times from the QB sneaks, pointing toward the first down marker.
And taking a couple of big hits on those QB sneaks.
Yeah, that first one he took a lick. I think the one that laid down the wood on that first one was Carter Wyatt out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I did not mean to say Charlotte weird. I said Charlotte. Shallottte. I did not know that was a place. Either that or the roster makers are messing with me. Big play back behind the line of scrimmage. Braden Sperling comes in.
Number 78 in on that tackle.
Yeah, I just assumed that was just a mispronunciation.
No, it is not.
Yeah, you're on the roster.
I know Al was from Jersey up here, but I do not say Charlotte. It's not in my vocabulary as a Texan. I will say y'all every now and again. 3:09 left in the game. Timeout called as it'll be second and very long after that play in the backfield from Sperling. Sperling from Bethany, Missouri. A much easier name to pronounce. Feel free, if you are from Charlotte, North Carolina, to comment on the Facebook profile. I'll go back and read it later. I want to know if I'm saying that the right way or not. I might be emphasizing it a little bit too much to.
I think you might be fixating on this.
I am, actually. I'm very interested. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to learn the history of the town afterwards. I'll be on the plane ride back when we leave, and we got to drive to Cleveland after this to catch our flight. But on the way there, I'm gonna look up Charlotte, North Carolina. Not Charlotte. Charlotte. I am amazed, honestly. That might be the biggest thing that sticks with me at the end of the day. Second and long, excuse me. Hand off to Brown up the middle. I almost lost that football. He was able to get a second hand on top of it and cover it up before it popped out.
He carried about 3 defenders, about 3 or 4 yards right there.
Raymond Brown. We've already seen he is a strong young man. 6 foot, 175 pounds, but he is lean. Lean, mean, running machine right up the middle. That time he only got about 3 yards, though, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 13. Much different situation than the 3rd and 4th down chances that the Stars had their last time on this drive, and the final timeout is taken by the Stripes. This is a crucial 3rd down play. Now, what could play into the advantage of the Stripes is that with a 3rd and long situation, you would expect maybe the Stars to throw the football here. With 2:59 remaining, even if they run it and they get stopped short, there's going to be about 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock for the Stripes whenever they get the ball back in order to try and tie things up at 21. Back in the shotgun, Havens. Takes the snap, rolls right, breaks back left. That's the same play that Brown was able to score on earlier, but this one falls short as Havens just didn't get it to him, didn't get enough on it, and it is an incomplete pass, which stops the clock at 2 minutes and 53 seconds left. So there will be even more time on the clock here for the Stripes. Plenty of time, even with no timeouts, to drive about half the field in order to make something happen. That's a good punt, though. All the way to the 28-yard line.
That ball is caught by number 3.
And so it is going to be a little bit longer. Great punt from the Stars' perspective that time. Tyler Morgan out of Berkshire, Texas, is able to pin back the Stripes, who need a touchdown and the point after, might I add, to tie things up at 21. They, at one point in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, trailed 21-0. Since then, they have scored 2 straight unanswered. BAT was good on both, 14 points and a rocket. This one zinged to the near side, completed easily. As Lopez reels it in, he's the one that has been on the receiving end of both touchdown passes, but both have come from Max Thompson. Blue Monroe is the quarterback in the game right now for the Stripes. Monroe getting the call from the coaching staff on the far side. 2:38 left. 1 pass, 1 first down. Because he was out of bounds, the clock does stop at 2:38. Low snap. Monroe's going to take it himself. He had one run earlier that went about 60 yards for a touchdown, but it was called back for a holding penalty. This time he only gets a couple on the scamper. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's got Gibbons in the game at running back. Takes a lick here as he lets this one fly, and Monroe hits the turf. Gibbons missed his blocking assignment that time, Nick, and just couldn't recover.
Yeah, right there, Zachary Isaac, defensive lineman coming in, just kind of running over everyone, pushing down Monroe. It's a big play from defensive lineman out of Waldorf, Maryland. 6 foot, 200-pound lineman.
Sets up 3rd and 8. On the way here for the Stripes. Stripes on the game, 4 for 9 on 3rd down conversions. They've been pretty good at it. Most of those have come either in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, or here in the 4th. Have a chance at it here. Backing up, it's going to be a QB Tank himself trying to run out. Ball comes loose. It's on the turf. They're going to call him down. That would have been another scoop and score for the Stars defense. Instead, it's going to be 4th and very long. The sack was there regardless, and it looked like that play was doomed from the get-go. That defensive line broke through and was in the backfield before really anything could happen for Blue Monroe, trying to range out to his left. He had a long way to go to find some open room in order to try and set his feet and make a throw. So we hit the 2-minute mark. This is a crucial play to keep the game alive. No timeouts left. 4th and 15. Pressure over the middle. Throw is incomplete. Huge play across the middle. Jaleel Singleton, who had a pick earlier in the game, was able to lay the hit on top of Lopez. Lopez couldn't hold on as he went to the ground, and it's a turnover on downs, and the Stars may have just clinched it.
Well, again, you had big old Zachary Isaac bearing down on Blue Monroe coming off of the edge, and that was a great throw. It was in traffic, couple of gray jerseys right there. Hits his receiver, unfortunately not able to reel it in. It slips out of his hands on a good throw by Blue Monroe, but you see the Stars defense coming in clutch. 1:49 to go. No timeouts remaining for the Stripes. Probably just see the Stars trying to run out the clock.
This is where you start seeing the trying to strip the ball with 1:49 left, like you said. You got to get a turnover. Either that or a very quick 3-and-out with an incomplete pass in there somewhere. They're just going to take a knee and call this one as their own. Coaches taking selfies on the near sideline, having some fun, and the jumping around of the Stars as they definitely earned this victory. They earned it early, though. That second quarter, they put up all 21 of their points. The Stripes, who were really the better football team in the second half, defensively shut down a Stars attack with some pretty impressive individuals, and then you turn around and put up 14 points of your own. They really did have a chance to tie this game up at 21. Made for some entertaining football toward the end, but in the end, it is going to be the Stars coming out on top. As we do hit the 1-minute mark, one more kneel should get the job done. .52 seconds left and counting.
40 seconds left. One more knee will do it. We do want to give a shout out to the fans watching all around the country, even some who are driving, which is not necessarily safe, but that's okay. At least have it on the radio in the background. Keep your eyes on the road, but definitely make sure that that you are not distracted as the Stars do end up winning this one. We'll talk about the second leg of the middle school bowl game series in just a little bit, but the 15U Stars are champions here of the bowl game series in Canton, Ohio, as the clock will run down and the teams will end up shaking hands. 21-14 the final score here, Nick.
Yeah, very exciting. That second half was spectacular. Both defenses played very well. And it's good to see a little bit of offense there in that first half. And then defense again stepping up in the second half. A lot of fun today from all three games, all different age groups. Just a lot of skill, and it's going to be a lot of fun to start watching, especially these U15 players as they start going on into high school next year for the majority of them, and I'm sure some of these will become pretty popular names within the coming years. They go represent their high schools and go on to colleges and make their names there. But it's definitely a lot of fun, a very fun weekend or a 2-day stay here in Canton, Ohio. It's a lot of fun to watch these young football players, these young athletes showcase what they've learned and what they've worked for all summer long.
Yeah, definitely so. It's been a long, it hasn't even really been all summer long. It's been a career-long journey for these individuals to be chosen for the U.S. national team showcase here at the middle school level. And we talked with Al earlier about how much goes into choosing these individuals and making sure that they are the best of the best. And there is the best of the best today. Raymond Brown out of Chester, Virginia, named the MVP of the game. He had that touchdown scamper earlier, had about 110 yards worth of total offense, or rushing offense, I should say, maybe even more if you add some receiving yards in there as well. 6 foot, 175-pounder heading into his high school year. Chester, Virginia, you got yourselves a good one. MVP of the 15U Stars versus Stripes ball game here in Canton, Ohio. But that is going to do it. An outstanding day of games, like you said, Nick. What are your final thoughts here from Canton?
It's really cool getting to sit down and talk with Al and a couple of the other people involved with USA Football. It's really a cool organization and everything that goes into it for these young athletes and helping them start to realize their dreams and their goals. It's a lot of fun, the coaching that they get, and just this kind of experience. And something that stuck out a little bit talking with Al when he said, these are people, or these are kids that, they meet each other for the first time. And now it's a little bit different for them. They can keep in touch in social media. They can follow each other on Twitter. They're now becoming best friends for probably a long time to come. The friendship and the communications won't end as this weekend ends. So I thought that was also something pretty cool. Just one of the many very fascinating, very cool aspects of this USA Football, the whole thing that they have going on throughout the summer and throughout the whole year.
An outstanding event here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame where legends come to be immortalized, but the future of football does shine here on this beautiful Saturday. Once again, do want to thank everybody involved in this Game On Sports Productions broadcast and the USA Football broadcast. Do also want to remind you about the Frisco leg of the middle school bowl game series that comes up. Game day is on July 22nd. You can catch that right here on the live stream as well. I'll be alongside Zach Wolchuk for the call that one. Nick will also be there as well. We are very excited to bring you that one from Frisco, Texas, is where that one will be. The headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys, playing host to some incredible talent also at the middle school ranks throughout the entire country. But that is going to be a wrap here from Canton, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. For Fred Garner, for John Knoll, for Silviana Moncada, and our director Troy Gooder, for Al Pops, who has also been an outstanding help for us all week long, and for my partner Nick Laupius, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Once again, the final score, 21 for the Stars and the Stripes, 14. Thank you for watching, and so long from Canton, Ohio.